Hey, welcome back to Sober Now. I'm Jim LaPierre. Today I want to talk about spiritual growth. I've been noticing quite a few things that my higher power has been showing me recently. And when I talk with folks who are new in recovery or who have struggled to develop a concept of a higher power or some type of spiritual practice, they'll often ask me, how do I do that? How do I have a sense of my higher power? How do I experience that? And what I share with folks is something that I just picked up on a long time ago, about 20 years ago. I noticed that there was a connection between what I knew intuitively and what I knew spiritually. So oftentimes I'll encourage folks to think about it this way. I think there's three ways that we know things: from our head, our heart, and our gut. Obviously, your head is not much use when it comes to developing faith in a higher power, because faith is something that intellect can't work with. Your intelligence and your intellect can't really conceive of something that can't be proven and yet should be believed. Your heart is the center for emotion, everything that you love and hate, and faith can easily live there, but it's likely to be at odds with your intellect, and for a lot of us, it's likely at odds with what you learned growing up, what you experienced in religiosity. If you have something that works for you, that's awesome. Stick with it. If you don't, if you're struggling, your experience might be like mine, which was that spirituality opened a lot of doors for me that religion did not. So spirituality I love because nobody can tell me I'm doing it wrong. It's based on a relationship between something that I choose to believe in and myself. And I think that's actually the key. Relationships tend to be rough for people in recovery. We tend to struggle in relating to authority figures. And what is your higher power if not the ultimate authority? So if we move past the idea of deities or religious doctrine, we're free to choose whatever works for us. For me, I have not made any attempt whatsoever to understand my higher power. I try to experience my higher power. And what I found is the more that I stay in the company of people in recovery, people who are very real, very genuine, people who talk about their deepest wounds and are working together, supporting one another as we try to get better, the closer I feel to what I'll call the universe or my higher power. So over the years, I've picked up on a lot of little hacks and tricks here and there that work really well for me. The very best addictions counselor I ever worked with is an old friend of mine, and she would always say to people, there's not just this one plan or this one path in the grand scheme of things. There's what your higher power puts in front of you today. And if you're paying attention and you notice those things, if you have an open mind and you allow yourself to receive, then a lot of really strange things are going to happen in your life, and those will be spiritual. And that's been very true for me. The more I grow spiritually, the weirder my life gets. I recommend the Serenity Prayer to just about everybody. I think what we're asking for there is more courage, more wisdom, and acceptance of powerlessness. I recommend the third step prayer from AA as a process of surrendering to a higher power. Remember, surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means giving up the battle that I have with myself and choosing to do things my higher power's way and letting my higher power run the show instead of me running it. I was actually honestly hung up on that for a long time. I thought of my will and my control of self as something really important and necessary and honestly something that was pretty great. What I've learned since then is that what my higher power wants for me is consistently about 1,000,000 times better than anything that I think I want. So I can share with you that my experience is the more that I connect to good people and the more that I pray, the better my life gets, the weirder my life gets. And to the atheist or agnostic, I say, in the worst case scenario, all I'm really doing is talking to myself. And that's still a healthy thing for me to do. For folks who have something on board spiritually, the way I think about it is me asking my higher power for things doesn't change what my higher power is going to do. My higher power is already trying to give me everything that I need and things that are better than what I think I want. So by asking for what I need, It makes me more receptive, and it makes me more aware, more likely to notice it when it's placed in my path. So those are just some things that work for me. I'd love to hear what works for you. I'd love to hear your questions. Email me, jim@sobernow.com. Happy to talk about where you're struggling or things that maybe some victories you've had. Please like and share the video. Would love to expand these conversations and include more folks in them. Please check out Sober Now's YouTube channel and give that a click on the subscription bell, and you can gain access to more than 80 videos that are there on different topics of recovery, and would love to just have you check those out. So thank you. Please take excellent care of yourself. We'll talk soon.